Google Map or Apple Map. These two are so popular application for navigation and really maps overall. These two has phone version or mobile version and computer and desktop. Recently, Apple Maps, they launched their beta desktop app so we can explore and navigate online without any installation. We're going to take a look deep to these two programs and we're going to see which one is really good for us, which one we can choose, and which one is better than the other. Now, before going to these two apps, I would give some of my thoughts that I experienced in real life. Number one, Google Map it seems to be more updated. You have a lot of streets and you have a lot of features. It seems Google Map is so ahead of Apple Map. However, there might be some like visual context. The user experience might be easier and smoother in Apple Map. The reason is they designed it with so much attention and so much creativity. But still, that doesn't mean that we cannot use Google Map. Google Map is still fun. That is the only feature that might not be good for Apple Map. However, we can find it in Google Map. We can find everything updated and in 360 degrees. And obviously, we can find the most updated and recent information on Google Map, like stores location or phones, or there's the stores opening and all of that. That might be the only thing that Google Map is much better than Apple Map. Apple Map is not convenient too in some things. Let's say you have Spotify and while navigating you want to control the music. This is not available in Apple Map. This is only available in Google Map, obviously. So that's my two thoughts that are super important. That if you want to experience the most feature, you gotta use Google Map. If not, you want to stick with Apple guy and you all want to do it, so you can stick with it. But now it's a time to see the map, like to see on the phone, obviously, which one is better.
It's time to really learn both applications, both apps. So before going to the app, and we were going to Google before Googling them and finding them out on these two windows, I'm going to pull some pictures so then we can really give some thoughts on both, like really both. So some real evidence. This is a Google Map or Google Maps. This is on Android and this is on iOS. This is basically everywhere, web, computer, and everywhere. And it's so freaking new, and it's so updated. So everything's gonna be on time, and if there's a new store, there's always a new update. Now, this is not 100% right. There might be some exception. It's a clean-cut interface, and you can see where you are at any time. You have the kilometer and the miles, I think. Again, the directions and where you are, and the little south, north. Again, the different layers of map, like not like really like something like you could see the everything, trees and all of that. And the one that you see right now, and then getting quick to home and coffee restaurants in your profile, and you can turn the features on to see basically where you got. Like it saves and it keeps your data as long as you want it. Any devices. Basically, that until now, that's a big win for Google Maps. In iOS, we don't have that one. So let's say we switch from iPhone to Android, we will lose our data. We won't have it in Google Maps anymore, or we don't have any Apple Maps, right? We don't have it. So we don't have access to that. So it's like everywhere globally with the one. Or if you take a look at this, you basically see where the features are, where are the locations are. So, and this is same thing that you'll be able to see with the Apple Maps. So these are both the same. So you'll be able to see that. Now, if you're hitting some directions, you'll have your music players at the bottom. You can turn it on, and then you can see the map over here. As you can see, the lines is blue. Hit it, it's more highlighted than before, and your speed and all of that. So you can just and everything. You can again quickly click on the little microphone and speak to Google. If we take more like really more steps away, still you'll be able to see the little lights and you'll be able to see the turn and all of that so clearly. And but if we go to Apple Maps or Maps only, it's more a little bit probably more of data on roads. Like you will be able to see two traffic signs, and but it's not the same location. But overall, you'll be able to see what I really spotted, that it's you'll be able to see more traffic data and spot and stop sign and all of that. And you'll be able to see the little directions, and it's more cleaner on to see where to go. Overall, there we will be equal because the Apple Maps doesn't have any location for a player, so we don't have a player button. Now we're imagining a single small screen. Okay, we won't be using a tablet or iPad unless it's a CarPlay or Apple Play. All right, so that's a different thing. Now we're going to take a look actually on the Google Map. So I'm going to go to Maps and I'm going to click on Maps really. And for the Apple Map, I'm going to search Apple Maps, and then we're going to see the Apple Maps right over here, which is Apple Map basically. So I'm going to click again. I already opened it, I believe. So this is the Apple Maps, beta.maps.apple.com. That's the address. So we all have this. So as you can see, this is in beta and this is in the full version. So we can see ourselves where we are. Same thing with that. A little bit more forward. We can see that the different things are different things. Like they are more, it's more like probably more details on this rather than that, but that's not a different thing. Overall, these two like are good tools to obviously. However, I experienced that some data can be found on Google Maps that are not available on Apple Maps. Like a lot of business nowadays use Google Maps like to locate their business. Of course, people use Apple Maps too. So if we go to the bottom, like there is two screens still, little GPS, then the zoom in and zoom out over there, the little direction, and the way like hybrid or satellite. We still have that over here, like layer. We can see that's clearly like biking, transit, traffic, terrain, something like, or more. And then, so I'm going to take back to my location to take back. Yeah, there you go. So I can search anything. That's obviously the same thing. And the little button are the same, like guides, or maybe this one, directions. Oops. So obviously are the same. So as I told you before, so informations are updated more over here, but in here we don't have that much updated. And then more traffic signs probably are visible on the Apple Maps, but not in Google Maps. And both are simple to use, but whenever driving, probably Apple Maps would be better. It gives you the lane and all of that details. But like you could run it everywhere. It's Apple Maps. No, sorry, it's Google Maps. So you can run it anytime and you can save directions all over here. If you go to the settings, we don't have too much over here. Like you could see, still it's in business. So we don't have any settings, we just have a location. So I'm gonna go and click on Toronto. If I could click on directions, if I again click on Toronto, I can see a lot of detail right over here. So I can save nearby, send to phone, share, the cloud, and all of that information. And quick facts and the hotel's availability, photos. But over here, we don't see much that one. So we only see directions, you see a little info and the featured guide, but we don't see like save, nearby, send to phone, and share. The save little button is so useful whenever you're heading to somewhere. You have the plan to travel somewhere. And it's crazy. It's crazy to have that thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to my older account, to the original account basically that I use for maps. Now if I go back, you can see that the lines are so like you can clearly see where I want it to go, like where, but you can't do that with the Apple Maps. You probably will be able to do it with the phone, not with the Google Maps. So that's a win-win, obviously, for the Google Maps. So you won't be able to see that much a lot in here. We do have right now. What I see is we do have some options like in the Apple version. We don't have, however, the save button, but we do have it as a save to guides. That is the same thing on the phone version, like mobile version, but you don't have it on the web version. So you do have the save button, but of course you don't have the same option as the Google has. But in mobile version, they both have the save button. You can locate them, but in Google Maps would be easier, I guess. Like you have the save button right over here. Overall, I just want to say that there is more feature in Google Maps rather than Apple Maps. If I click on directions, again, if I click on Toronto, if I click on directions, not too much information on by walk and driving, but you have plenty of information on the Google Maps, like your location, Toronto, add another destination, or you can add in between some destinations. You can add, let's say, Hamilton, for example, and then you can drag and drop and manage them as well. You don't have that option currently over here at the web version. Let me see if we do have it on the Apple, on the mobile version. We don't have it. I can see from my phone. So we don't have it actually. Oh, we do have it. So add stop. We do have that one on the mobile version. It copy to link and all of that, and restaurants and all of that. So overall, that's all. So the informations, if I take to the driving, yeah, so I can send it to my phone. I cannot do it from here. So overall, both are cool. And I told you some of the differences before and now. What you can do is you can test them both. That's the question. The question is which one. Now, there's no good or bad in each of these. The question is, which one do you like? Which one do you feel good or safer? Or which one you can take most use of? That's the question. If you answer that, everything will be fine. And there's no good Apple Maps and there's no good Google Maps or Apple Maps. None of them are good unless you answer your question.